The Berbers or Amazish are an ethnic group indigenous to North Africa. They are distributed in an area stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Siwa Oasis in Egypt, and from the Mediterranean Sea to the Niger River. Historically, they spoke Berber languages, which together form the Berber branch of the Afro-Asiatic family. Since the Muslim conquest of North Africa in the 7th century, a large number of Berbers inhabiting the Maghreb have acquired different degrees of knowledge of varieties of Maghrebi Arabic. After the colonization of North Africa by France, the French government succeeded in integrating the French language in Algeria by making French the official national language and requiring all education to take place in French. Other foreign languages, mainly French and to some degree Spanish, inherited from former European colonial powers, are used by most educated Berbers in Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia in some formal contexts, such as higher education or business. Today, most Berber people live in northern African countries, such as Algeria and Morocco. A small Berber population is also found in Niger, Mali, Libya, Mauritania, Tunisia, Burkina Faso and Egypt, as well as large immigrant communities living in France, Canada, Belgium, the Netherlands and other countries of Europe. The Berber identity is usually wider than language and ethnicity, and encompasses the entire history and geography of North Africa. Berbers are not an entirely homogeneous ethnicity, and they encompass a range of phenotypes, societies and ancestries. The unifying forces for the Berber people may be their shared language, belonging to the Berber homeland, or a collective identification with the Berber heritage and history. There are some 25 to 30 million Berber speakers in North Africa. The number of ethnic Berbers is far greater, as a large part of the Berbers have acquired other languages over the course of many decades or centuries, and no longer speak Berber today. Berbers call themselves some variant of the word Imazin, possibly meaning free people, or noble men. The name likely had its ancient parallel in the Roman and Greek names for Berbers, Mazises. Some of the best known of the ancient Berbers are the Numidian king Massinissa, King Jugurtha, the Berber Roman author Apuleius, Saint Augustine of Hippo, and the Berber Roman general Lucius Quietus, who was instrumental in defeating the major wave of Jewish revolts of 115 to 117. Dihyrorcaina was a female Berber religious and military leader who led a fierce Berber resistance against the Arab-Muslim expansion in northwest Africa. Qusayla was a 7th century male leader of the Uraba tribe of the Berber people and head of the Sanhaja Confederation. Famous Berbers of the Middle Ages include Yusuf ibn Tashfin, king of the Berber Almoravid Empire, Tariq ibn Ziyad the general who conquered Hispania, Abbas ibn Firnas, a prolific inventor and early pioneer in aviation, Ibn Battuta, a medieval explorer who traveled the longest known distances in antiquity, and Estefanico, an early explorer of the Americas. Well-known modern Berbers in Europe include Zinedine Zidane, a French-born international football star of Algerian Kabyle descent, Loreen, the Swedish-born winner of Eurovision 2012, and Ibrahim Afellay, a Dutch-born football player of Moroccan Riffian descent. Name: the name Berber derives from the Latin barbarus. A history by a Roman consul in Africa made the first reference of the term barbarian to describe Numidia. The use of the term Berber spread in the period following the arrival of the Vandals during their major invasions. Muslim historians, some time after, also mentioned the Berbers. The English term was introduced in the 19th century, replacing the earlier Barbary. The Berbers are the Maori cited by the Chronicle of 754 during the Umayyad conquest of Hispania, to become since the 11th century the catch-all term Moros on the charters and chronicles of the expanding Christian Iberian kingdoms to refer to the Andalusi. the North Africans, and the Muslims overall. For the historian Abraham Isaac Laredo, the name Amazigh could be derived from the name of the ancestor Mezig, which is the translation of biblical ancestor Dedan, son of Sheba in the Targum. According to Leo Africanus, Amazigh meant free man, though this has been disputed, because there is no root of mzgh meaning free in modern Berber languages. This dispute, however, is based on a lack of understanding of the Tamazight languages. Am is a prefix meaning a man, one who is. Therefore, the root required to verify this endonym would be zig, free. This, however, is also missing from Tamazight's lexicon, but may be related to the well-attested azza, strong, tizit, bravery, or jegeg, to be brave, courageous. The latter might also be related to the Arabic jihada, to wage war, apply one's self to. Further, it also has a cognate in the Tuareg word amajeg, meaning noble. This term is common in Morocco, especially among Central Atlas, Rifin and Shilla speakers in 1980. But elsewhere within the Berber homeland, sometimes a local, more particular term, such as Kabbalah or Chuer, is more often used instead in Algeria. The Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, and Byzantines mentioned various tribes with similar names living in Greater Libya, in the areas where Berbers were later found. Later tribal names differ from the classical sources, but are probably still related to the modern Amazigh. The Meshwesh tribe among them represents the first thus identified from the field. Scholars believe it would be the same tribe called a few centuries afterwards in Greek as Mazis by Hectaios and as Maxis by Herodotus, while it was called after that Mazuses and Mazax in Latin sources, and related to the later Massilian Massisi. All those names are similar and perhaps foreign renditions of the name used by the Berbers in general for themselves, Mazayan. Prehistory. The Maghreb or Western North Africa on the whole is believed to have been inhabited by Berbers from at least 10,000 BC. Northern African cave paintings, dating back 12 millennia, have been found in the Tassi-Linaj region of southern Algeria. Others were found in Tadrat Akakas in the Libyan desert. A Neolithic society, marked by domestication and subsistence agriculture, developed in the Saharan and Mediterranean region of northern Africa between 6000 BC and 2000 BC. This type of life, richly depicted in the Tassi-Linaj cave paintings of southeastern Algeria, predominated in the Maghreb until the Classical period. Prehistorical Tifina scripts were also found in the Oran region. During the pre-Roman era, several successive independent states existed before the king Massinissa unified the people of Numidia.